It's been hours. I can still hear it outside, breathing. Watching me. Waiting for me to crack. But I'm not going to. I digress, you don't know what's happened, what's been going on. Allow me a moment to explain to you. It all started this morning when I woke up to hear some sort of commotion downstairs. I live with my wife, and after a few seconds of flailing around the bed I could tell she was not with me. I took a sharp breath in and grabbed a small pocket knife from the table beside me. Not much protection from a burglar, I know, but it was all I had. I slowly worked my way downstairs towards the noise, which had since stopped. I cautiously peeked over the banister towards the living room to see my wife lying down in the corner. I abandoned any semblance of safety and rushed towards her, dropping to my knees, and I asked her, "Are you all right, baby?" To which she lifted her head off the ground and turned towards me, and said, "He's behind you." I barely heard the crack of my own skull as he struck me across the back of my head. I woke up to the most blinding pain I think one can ever experience, and I had been stripped down to my underwear. The back of my head had been torn open by whatever the instrument used to strike me was, and the thick, dried blood was caked on with a small mixture of dirt in it. The skin on the back of my head had been torn in such a manner I could feel a large flap of it hanging off my skull. Touching it evoked such a strong and pure pain sensation that I almost instantly vomited what had been my supper the night before, out onto the concrete below me. The cell I was in was incredibly bland, it was all damp with a drain in the middle of the room. It was too dark to tell whether it was just water I was laying in. Perhaps it was some of another unfortunate soul, just like me, laying here and wasting away. It was slick and slippery, and had a strange coolness to it, despite being summertime. The only source of light in the room was offered by a TV, which was in direct contrast with the theme of the room, old and decrepit. The TV was brand new, probably $1,000 investment. The static picture the TV had been broadcasting was replaced in a flash with that of a shitty live feed. It took a while for my eyes to adjust properly, but after I did I realized I was looking at my wife. She had a mask strapped around her mouth, and appeared to be lying unconscious on the floor of a shithole, much similar to the one I was in. I looked away, I couldn't see my wife, the one I loved so much, like this. I began to scream in desperation, asking nobody in particular, "What do you want from me?" "Your patience. The mask is keeping the poison out of her body," is the cool, slick answer that booms from the TV, catching me entirely off guard. I quickly scrambled to my feet and stood up and started to think, what the fuck else could I offer him right now, other than my time? There was a loud bang on the door, which brings me to where I started off. I can hear him outside, breathing. Watching me. There's an eye hole in the door that I can't see out of, but I'm sure he can see in. He wants to watch me suffer. He wants to watch me go out of my mind. I can't be fucking patient. When you're trying to fucking kill my wife. I shout in the general direction of nowhere. And I receive no response. I can still hear him on the other side of the door. Breathing. Waiting. All you have to do is wait. And everything will be okay. Just wait. Came from behind the door. What does this man want from me? What did I do so that he had to come into my house? I stumble backward and hit my head off an uneven protrusion in the wall, and vomit violently at my feet before passing out again from the blinding pain. I woke up again, laying on the bloodied flap on my skull and instantly regretting being alive from the extreme pain this causes. I scream out loud in pain for the first time, and I put my head up to the door again. No breathing. He was gone. 2 days. 2 days you have. Just wait. Booms his voice from the TV, practically making me empty my bowels. I do not want to wait. My wife is now awake on the TV and standing up, blindly feeling around her cell and confused at what was going on. I couldn't stand to watch her in so much trouble. I sit around and start contemplating my life. What did he even mean by 2 days? Why does he want my patience? Why was he giving me a time limit? It doesn't seem like he's really giving me much of a fucking choice, having me locked up in a cell. Why would he tell me he needs my patience? Is there some option I have? I'm so tired from standing for hours on end, and from the soreness in my head. Just wait. Just wait. I keep hearing from the TV. Why does he want me to wait? I wake up and I didn't sleep on my open skull, so the pain is more bearable. My wife is still on the TV, and she has begun to freak out. She's pulling at her mask and jumping around. It kills me to see her this disturbed. One day. One day. Just wait. The TV keeps announcing. What other options do I have other than to wait? I check up against the door and I can't hear any breathing. For the first time, it dawns on me to try the door. There was a handle that I haven't even considered before. Could this be the reason I had to wait? I try the handle and it moves. I can feel the door's bolt slide out of the socket. I took in another deep breath and swing the door open to enter a huge hallway in not much better condition than my cell. The air in here, however, is much more fresh. One detail I've forgotten, my cell smells like death. I'd gotten used to it, but now that I've left it's pretty clear how horrendous the smell really was. I carefully walk down the hall, and begin checking doors looking for my wife. I'd open a door, check quickly and then leave. All were empty cells much like my own. I open one and in my relief, I can see my wife laying in a pile in the middle of the cell. I can see the cord from her mask reaching up to the ceiling, and I rushed over to shake her awake. It was a mannequin. I hear the door slam behind me and feel a serrated blade slide across my entire throat. I reach up to my throat to stem the very large flow of blood leaving from the cut, as the man grabs me and tells me, "You didn't wait. All you had to do was wait. Just wait. Your wife is safe. She always was. She was at home the whole time you were here with me. Watch." The TV in this room came to life and played another shitty live feed from my house. This time my wife was home and sleeping, but tossing and turning. "If you just had fucking waited, I wouldn't have had to kill you. Why didn't you wait? Why didn't you just wait?" I fall to the floor as my heart slowly begins to pump all the blood out of my body. I lay twitching on the damp ground as the man gets up and slams the door behind him. I hear the bolt slide into place and know the door is locked for good this time. The TV turns off and I'm thrown into darkness. My heart keeps pumping the blood out of my body.